on from Russia-Ukraine peace talks soon if there's no progress made, says Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
We need to determine very quickly now, and I'm talking about in a matter of days, whether or not this is doable over the next few weeks. If it is, we're in. If it's not, then we have other priorities to focus on as well.
Secretary Rubio leaving Paris today after meetings with leaders from France, the UK, Germany, and Ukraine, saying the U.S. is ready to help if Russia or Ukraine are serious about peace. Ukraine has rejected Russian demands to give up occupied territory. It's not known yet why a 20-year-old student may have shot and killed 2 people, wounding 6 on campus in Tallahassee, Florida.
The son of a sheriff's deputy is behind bars accused of a deadly mass shooting at Florida State University. The 20-year-old suspected gunman opened fire outside the student union on the Tallahassee campus, killing 2 people and injuring 6 others. Officers who arrived at the scene quickly shot and injured the gunman. Investigators say he used one of his mother's weapons. She served with the Leon County Sheriff's Office for 18 years.
Fox's Chanley Painter. A man deported from Maryland has been allowed to meet at a hotel with a senator who went to see him in El Salvador and was earlier turned away at the prison where the man's being held.
Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen posting on X that he has met with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. You may recall Garcia was deported and brought to a prison in El Salvador despite a court order preventing his deportation. The U.S. Supreme Court ruling last week that the Trump administration should affect his return to this country if at all possible.
Fox's Kevin Cork. A resentencing hearing for Eric and Lyle Menendez in Los Angeles is on hold till May 9th, while the parole board's risk assessment reports are reviewed by their attorneys, prosecutors, and the judge. The brothers are serving life sentences for their parents' murder in 1989. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
What up, fellow Gen Xers? Elizabeth Banks here. As the original Latchkey kids, we took things into our own hands, like house keys and video game controllers. And now it's time for us to do it again, because the recommended age to get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. We're at over 6 times greater risk compared to adults under 50. So go to vaxassist.com and schedule. Gen X, this is our shot. Sponsored by Pfizer.
A major decrease in illegal border crossings has lightened the load of border agents.
Mike Banks is the chief of the U.S. Border Patrol and discussed that recently on Fox's America's Newsroom.
The Border Patrol morale is going through the roof.
He adds that the proof is in the numbers. In locations like Eagle Pass, Texas, which was seeing 3,000 to 4,000 migrant encounters a day.
Right now, Eagle Pass, Texas is seeing an average of 18 apprehensions a day and very few getaways, little to none. Some days, 0 getaways.
Banks also says that less agents are leaving the patrol due to the turnaround in numbers.
We're seeing agents pull retirement paperwork in order to continue staying in.
The administration says it will continue to work to secure the border and deport undocumented migrants from the U.S. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Drug maker Eli Lilly reports successful clinical trials of a new daily pill to treat obesity and diabetes. Still needs a review and approval by the Food and Drug Administration to potentially replace weekly injections of the same class of drug. A top federal prosecutor in New York is fighting a cop killer's release.
John Burham, the U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of New York, says in a letter to the state parole board that David McCleary is the worst of the worst. McCleary is serving time for the execution of NYPD officer Eddie Byrne. This is McCleary's 8th attempt at parole. He shot the rookie cop 5 times in the head during a gangbanger ambush.
Fox's Gary Baumgarten. The actor Haley Joel Osment says he's absolutely horrified at his behavior and apologizes for using an anti-Semitic slur against a police officer during an arrest at a California ski lodge this month. The Monroe County Prosecutor's Office says Osment is being charged with cocaine possession and disorderly conduct. He says if he'd known what he'd said in the throes of a blackout, he'd have apologized earlier. Chris Foster, Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 2 teens in custody after a video posted to Snapchat appears to show them holding another boy at gunpoint in Hoopston. Police arresting 3 juveniles. An 11-year-old released while 2 14-year-old suspects transported to Vermilion County Juvenile Detention Center. The 2 suspects and the victim all attend the same school. Illinois lawmakers moving forward with a bill that would ban 2 food additives. The measure approved by the state Senate would ban 2 chemicals often found in flour of baked goods. If passed, businesses in the state wouldn't be allowed to distribute food products with those additives. The bill now heads to the Illinois House. After 5 years of development, fighting through a pandemic and more, Hotel Royer in Urbana opened for business again. A 100-year-old building has been fully renovated, and on Wednesday, folks got to see it all. The owners say the project hasn't always been smooth, but now seeing the finished product, it was all worth it, they say. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
And a good Friday to you because it is Good Friday. I'm Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey. We got Greg Solier who has jumped on this Good Friday. We're going to meet with Monsignor Mark Meridian. Yes. Great guy. He is. Wonderful priest in the, which diocese? He's in Peoria, but I mean, where does he serve? Rockford?
Yeah.
I think he's up in Rockford. No.
Or is it
Quad
the Quad Cities?
Quad Cities.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. He's a really good dude, Greg. You'd like
good. Yes, appropriate day to have them on. Too,
yep,
yes.
We'll talk about Jesus
before things get before they get very busy for those guys in the Tour mode here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a busy weekend if you're a church person. That's wonderful. Yes. Okay, Mr. Greg. It feels like kind of summery, a little breezy.
Yeah, what do we got? 62.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, 63 Willard, 64 Danville, 64 Rancho. I hear my bicycle calling this afternoon for a time.
Yeah, all you got to do is strap that helmet on and watch the wind. That's what you.
Yes, come pick me up in Kankakee. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly. Go downwind, and then we'll come get you.
Right.
All right, it's Greg Solier, our meteorologist, brought to you this morning by Carl.
Carl reminds you it's time for advanced care planning. In case there is a medical emergency that would arise, you can learn more about the services offered through Carl at carl.org.
All right, sir, talk to me about the Easter weekend.
Yeah, I tell you, everything's going out already with the south wind and mild air. Flood watches up and hoisted, unfortunately, back south and southwest, kind of south of Springfield, maybe Effingham line and into Missouri along that I-70 corridor in particular, where they had those big rains just a few weeks ago. And I would be surprised if we get one hoisted up in our general neck of the woods and point southward with time. Then north on the warm front that has pushed through the area with readings in the 60s here. They're 50s up near the Wisconsin line, and some pretty powerful storms that came out of southeast Nebraska, western Iowa, clipping Cedar Rapids and Marshalltown. They're doing its thing now up towards the Dells and Madison, and from there east heading towards Milwaukee with severe weather watches in effect, and snow coming on down over parts of Nebraska and out across the northern plains this morning. But around here, a partly sunny, windy, warm, Good Friday, almost early summer-like high. It's 78 to 82 on the spread across the area. South wind 20 to 30 and gusty. We may try to bubble up one lone shower thunderstorm to our southwest late this afternoon, this evening. Otherwise, mid to late evening and on the overnight, a couple of rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Good soakers across the area. Mild 57. Much cooler tomorrow, only 62. Light north wind. Showers in the morning, showers in the afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm as well. Down to near 50 tomorrow night. And yeah, likelihood of some wet weather here, some shower activity early to mid-morning for sunrise services, and the rain is back in for the afternoon. A rumble of thunder at 68. Lingering showers, 65 on Monday. Tuesday, we're dry, 73, and we're in the low to mid-70s. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, initial rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Weekend alone could bring 1 to 3 inches of rainfall here across our neck of the woods. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, that's a lot of rain, 1 to 3 for the weekend here in Central, and that's a lot of rain.
That's a lot if you get it. But
if you get it,
I'm not so sure because I didn't get that soaked yesterday.
No, didn't either.
Right,
but it's out there as a possible. So we'll
no. That's you always get the possible. Yeah. And they always try to make you prepared, let you be prepared for the worst. But unfortunately, I think our computer programs and algorithms can show some pretty nasty stuff in the top 6% possibilities. And but I do think we'll get some rain. And I know the boys are out planting now.
They are
can
out there?
Yeah, get a little bit of time in. It's good, but it's just short lived. So they're gonna
dispersed.
Well, I mean, but
get,
even if
beans
it
in, I
if it
think.
rains an inch, could wash out the seed, right? I mean, it depends on how.
Oh, no, if they can get it in, you're good. And the problem is if it gets cold again, but I don't think that's going to happen.
But what can it wash out if it was 3 inches of rain? I mean, it could still flood.
Once you plant it,
it's pretty good.
I think. Well, I mean, obviously you could wash it out.
What we
but
ought
I
to
don't
do-
think they're worried about that.
Well, if you really think you got a tough gig as a farmer, and it is tough, go watch the Amish for an hour. Johnny, I've seen him. The guy had a plow with a horse. I mean, how many acres are we covering? 100?
That's tough.
50 or 100? You ain't doing 5,000 acres on a horse. It's just stunning. You watch it and you think you've gotten a time machine.
Unbelievable.
It really is. All right, it is Good Friday. This is the most important weekend for Christians worldwide. The Pope is having a few cardinals kind of handle the Colosseum in Italy and everything else. Colosseum will be full, but the Pope is not. He's 88. And
had double pneumonia.
And doing oxygen not as long as he's been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, wasn't it Pope Benedict that stepped down before he died?
Yes.
Usually they die as a pope.
Right.
But Pope Francis has been in there for a while now.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, it's we were in the Sistine Chapel and we looked up at the window where the smoke comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, to determine who is the Pope.
Yeah, the next one.
As they vote
White
in that
smoke,
conclave.
white smoke, right? And then one of the 300 cardinals, one becomes the Pope, I think is how it works.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so I looked up at it and it's going, well, first of all, are they standing on each other's shoulders because it's so high up there? Am I scaffolding, or it can't be a ladder? It can't be that easy, right? It's got to be something more sophisticated, but it's just a little bitty window. It's not a big one. That's where the smoke comes out that billions of people see.
Yeah, that's true. It's quite an event.
Sistine Chapel. All right, and of course Rome, Italy, at the Vatican, which is a city in its own right. It's a country in its own right. It's an entity in its own right.
It's an entity in its own right.
And it's a wall
guarded by the Swiss guards.
Swiss guards. Why Swiss?
Because they were the roughest warriors in Europe.
Were they?
That's one reason they're neutral.
Oh.
Okay, if you guys stay out, you can be neutral. Everybody agreed.
Okay.
Now this goes back half a millennia.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but they're dressed up in those colored suits.
The old-fashioned
They don't look
looking.
scary now.
Yeah. No.
But
Anyway, it's good to have you listening. We're going to talk to Monsignor Meridian at the bottom of the hour, a Catholic Monsignor, and he knows all about Good Friday and the history of what happened on this day some 2,000 years ago, probably 2,000 and some. Exact dates right there at the 2,000 mark, 2030. In any event, we'll talk about the what happened and the I've totally been convinced for a long time that Jesus came back from being dead. And you're going, that's pretty extraordinary. Are you sure they didn't fake it? And I said, yeah, because I wasn't there, but I know humans, and humans generally are weak. So they're not rallying; they were scrambling. They didn't want to be the next one to be hung on a cross. So
he came back to life, which was the whole rock of the Christian faith, which is eternal life given by our Creator, and it's really something that's you have to have faith because you can look for all the scientific evidence you want and find plenty of it. Right. But you can always say, "Oh no, that was this," and "Oh no,
coincidence."
I think that the Shroud of Turin is one of the most compelling pieces of evidence that Jesus died and raised from the dead because his imprint is left on it.
Yeah, who found the Shroud
I don't
of
remember,
Turin?
but they did look at it.
His
and
face
said,
is on the white linen, is it not?
Yeah.
And where is that now?
It's somewhere on the interior. That's what I said. If you ever somebody wants to know where you're going, tell them I'm on the interior.
Yeah.
The Catholic Church, I still think, has control of the Shroud of Turin. I don't know where they're keeping it, and they kind of keep it. They went through a big scientific study, and it was found to be 1,500 years old, so it was a fraud. Then about 10 years later, oh wait,
it's 2000.
Actually it looks like it wasn't. That wasn't right. We made a mistake. Oh, then it all goes quiet. So I don't know why that's something you'd really want to show, not cover. up, but they've got reasons.
Can they just get? How about I've seen photographs.
Right. It dates back to 1354. It says in this online search.
It's not old enough.
Well, and there's a lot of controversy about that particular analysis.
Yeah.
As in, no, you did this, no, and they don't want to argue about it. But if you see the pictures, and you, again, you have to have faith.
That's right. That's right.
And the Holy Spirit and just believe.
Yeah. Well, there's things that happen every day. If you believe, you'll see things that happen that you know are God moments. There's just no question. Our new sports. This is what we are. Sports right now. Diane Ducey has that.
That's right. With the Mets over the Cardinals yesterday, we've got your update now.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. Last night, it was one bad inning that hurt Andre Palante and the Cardinals. A 4-run second inning, and Mark Vientos got it started with an opposite field home run, but the Mets made those runs stand up, winning 4-1.
Good thing that Palante was able to settle down. We also had a major league debut for Matt Swanson out of the Cardinals' pen. The Cardinals just couldn't get anything going offensively, and Palante picked up the loss.
One thing on the offensive side, Brendan Donovan drove in the Cardinal run and extended his hitting streak to 13.
He is red hot, finding ways to get on.
Now the Cardinals go with Miles Michaelis today. Michaelis hasn't been able to lower the ERA very much, hasn't been missing many bats.
It's a tough lineup, although the Mets hadn't been hitting well going into yesterday's game. Again, just that one bad inning. Let's hope that Miles can avoid that.
He's looking to do that today, and we'll be on the air from Citi Field at 5:15.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
The Cubs will start up a series against Arizona out of Wrigley with a 1:20 start, not only today, but tomorrow and Sunday. So you can hear the action over on US 105.9. A's blanked the White Sox 8-0 yesterday. White Sox taking on the Boston Red Sox. Illinois softball over in West Lafayette. That's been changed to a doubleheader today, starting at 1, and no game expected on Sunday as they looked at the forecast. Baseball all the way out in Seattle to take on Washington with a 9 p.m. first pitch. So it's so weird that we're heading out to the West Coast on an Illinois baseball game.
That's a long Big Ten trip.
Yeah, it is.
Man, I'll tell you what.
9 p.m. It's 7 out there, so.
Parkland baseball beat Moraine Valley, and they're 25-11 on the season. We do have Illinois women's golf tournament in Maryland for the Big Ten. Stanley Cup playoffs involving the St. Louis Blues at Winnipeg tomorrow. If you want to take note of that. The Heat and the Hawks, Dallas and Memphis. As the NBA tournament gets underway. And we have racing in Farmer City.
Apparently, Dame Sarr, the Italian kid, doesn't look like we're going to get him. But this other kid with the name I can't pronounce, 6'7", I think that's kind of that didn't help much. I couldn't tell you the name of the guy.
Where he's from, what he does.
Nah, his dad was.
Thanks for that.
You bet. All right, our weather this morning brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you so many great spring programs. Get the kids involved now. The Health and Wellness Center is a great stop. You can learn more at urbanaparks.org.
Somebody, if they can spell the name of who I'm talking about,
Right.
217-359-2255.
Tony Bangliani or something?
No, I don't think that's
Oh.
Anyway, we'll be right back.
Okay.
So again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity on this Good Friday, and it'll be just that weather-wise with a summer-like feel. Boy, you're going to need plans B and C as we head deeper into the Easter holiday weekend, including on Easter Sunday itself. A windy, warmer one expected today. Skies will turn partly sunny later this afternoon. That could breed a lone, isolated shower thunderstorm late in the afternoon, up around 80 with a gusty south wind 20 to 30 miles per hour. Periods of showers, thunderstorms for tonight. Some good soaking rains across the area. Breezy, mild 50 57. On a southwest wind that'll turn northwest to north tomorrow, so markedly cooler with variably cloudy skies, a couple of showers and isolated thunderstorms morning and afternoon as well, the high up to 62. Scattered showers tomorrow night, low down to 49, and some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder both Easter Sunday morning and the afternoon, the high at 68. 65 and a lingering shower threat on Monday, dry Tuesday 73, into the 70s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Each day, a couple of showers and thunderstorms. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Stock markets are closed today in the U.S. and Europe for Good Friday. The Dow dropped 527 yesterday. The Nasdaq was down 21, but the S&P gained 7. Toyota could be producing the next version of its RAV4 SUV in the U.S. The current models are made in Kentucky, Canada, and Japan. Reuters says it planned to export the new RAV4 to the U.S. from Canada and Japan. However, adding supply from the U.S. would lessen the impact of 25% tariffs and would boost supply for a popular model. Apple is delivering fewer smartphones to China. Research firm IDC says deliveries to China were down 9% in the first quarter. From a year ago, it was the only manufacturer to see a decline. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
I'm Emily Campagno, host of the Fox True Crime Podcast. This week, retired detective with the Modesto Police Department, John Bueller, joins me with a look back at the murder of Susan Iyer.
Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com.
I'm Dana Perino. This week on Perino on Politics, I'm joined by the founding partner at Cavalry LLC and co-host of the Ruthless podcast, Josh Holmes. Available now on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Did you ever kick a field goal, Johnny, goofing around in high school, college? Did you try and kick one?
Yeah.
Could you kick them?
On the field when I was playing football, I could kick a few. I was actually better punting, believe it or not.
Okay.
But when Bethany went out for tackle football,
His daughter, Bethany.
I tried to teach her to kick, and I couldn't remember, and she couldn't do it, and it was a disaster. So she played safety, and
Oh my God!
nearly got killed.
Right.
Oh my goodness! And she's 5'0", 5'2", maybe. Anyway,
now I know how Mom felt when I was actually on the Illinois football. Same
right.
thing.
Yeah,
You get cottonmouth. It was terrible.
All right, so here's Brett Bielma with a unique offer for students.
Hey students, Coach B here, right here in Memorial Stadium, wrapping up spring ball. On May 8th, we're going to have Kickin' for Chicken, sponsored by Chick-fil-A. For all of you that have purchased student tickets, we're going to give you a chance to kick right here in Memorial Stadium a 35-yard field goal and put yourself in a position to make that student ticket that you bought complimentary on us. Kickin' for Chicken is sponsored by Chick-fil-A, and it's an opportunity for you to make it real. You've always dreamed of playing in Memorial Stadium. Now that opportunity is yours. Come here and have a great event, ILL.
I bet you somebody shows up that was really good in high school, but just wanted to come to Illinois, not go to D2, and I bet you they'll be pretty good at it.
35 yards isn't too bad.
Pretty far. 25 is doable. 35 is a little further. 35 is the extra point for the NFL now. 35-yarder.
On the 15 plus 7, 22 plus 10, 32.
Yeah.
This is a deal for Illinois students.
Yeah,
only.
students that have bought tickets, so you might go buy a ticket, and then it said
there's the rub.
Well, and then it says you'll be in position to.
Right.
So it's probably a drawing for those that make it.
Okay.
But some guy named Gus will be from Hinsdale, and he'll be pretty good at kicking. There'll be somebody.
No kidding, absolutely. There's soccer players that can kick the ball.
I think, but it's a makeable kick.
But it's still pressure. You'll be under pressure.
Yeah, you will.
There's a lot to the pressure thing. It's like a golf shot, Steve.
What was it? The Mannings?
What's
They
that?
were doing that for the Super Bowl where Eli wanted to always be a kicker, and you'll never be a kicker. That was hilarious. And I think Eli won that. I think he kicked a very short field goal. And Peyton razzing him saying, "You'll never be a kicker.
That's funny.
Stop it, I'm 44 years old." Very funny. All right, so Jonathan Turley, remember Letitia James, the Attorney General for New York City? And she found things about Donald Trump that were prosecutable, I guess. Anyway, here's Jonathan Turley, very well-known, George Washington University, reasonable. I think she's in trouble a little bit.
Well, obviously, the irony is perfectly crushing. This is a person who prosecuted Trump for everything short of ripping a label off a mattress. And among the charges that were brought in New York, in not just the civil but the criminal case, was making false or misleading statements to financial institutions. And one of these sections, Section 1014 of the federal code, is prosecuted. It took me about 60 seconds of a search to find cases that the Department of Justice brought against people who falsely claimed that property was their principal residence in order to get loans. So this is well-tread areas for the Justice Department. As for James, if we apply the Letitia James standard that she created, there'd be little question here. This seems pretty straightforward. What the administration is saying is this was not her principal residence. In fact, as a New York elected official, she had to say that her principal residence was in New York. This was an out-of-state residence. But also, they claim that in some of these forms, she actually states that her father is her husband in order to file as a married couple. So there's a lot of those questions. And as you know, the Supreme Court just stated earlier in March in a case called Thompson that they want to see knowing false statements under sections like 1014, not just misleading statements. These are misleading statements. Either it's your principal residence or it's not.
Or it's not.
Either you're married to your father or he's your father. So this can satisfy the Thompson standard.
Representing our respective states, stand up and enforce the rule of law. The President of these United States is not above the law.
No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules.
Okay, well, there's that.
Well, and that's what we've seen for a long time.
Well,
it's you're picking on somebody and you're doing it at the same time that you're actually going after someone for doing it.
Yeah.
And it's called hypocrisy, it's called lack of character, and it's called fraud. But unfortunately, that's not that unusual. We've heard and seen things, and of course, a lot of it is dismissed and we move on. But it's part of it, and you see it in your local and people you know doing this, and someone knows this guy doing that, and it's hard to be good, I guess, Steve. That's why I'm glad Jesus came this weekend.
Going to talk all about
us.
Jesus, you bet. Going to talk all about him the day he was arrested, and the crucifixion, the conquering death. We'll do that next. By the way, one more political thing. Nate Silver, who's the big Democratic leftist kind of a pollster.
Yeah.
Number one for 2028 Democratic candidate is...
I thought it was Kamala Harris.
Nope.
Okay. I give up.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as the presidential candidate in 2028.
Well, that's good for her. I mean, she is kind of cute, but other than that, I don't know whether we would survive.
They're talking about her appeal to all the ages. Oh, geez, all these things. She's really good on the microphone. What about qualified? I mean, how do you say, gosh, does she have the intellect? I don't. I'm not smart enough to be president. Johnny, you are. So I'm just saying that I don't think she has the gravitas, maybe, the intellect, the ability to rise to that level. You got to be so doggone smart.
First of all, the things she wants to do will not work well for our country.
Socialism?
And our
Or is it what other ism is it?
So
just socialism?
As far as her intelligence, that plays into it, because when you make a quick call in an emergency, that could be the end. But she's pushing things that we do not want. And I talk to people who just really would never vote for a Donald Trump, who agree with, well, we don't want that either. We don't want that either. Right. We don't. So I don't think she can get over her policy, and I don't think I really don't hear her really moderating like Gavin Newsom. Yeah. She won't do that. So I'll give her credit for saying, no, when a guy wants to be a girl, he is a girl, and therefore he should be able to be.
It'll be
that's going to keep coming.
It'd be totally a woke candidate then.
Well, yes. Okay. A very progressive woke candidate.
In this online search, Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom and J.B. Pritzker.
Nate Silver has some weight as far as what he thinks, and because of his polling, and thinks that she could be right there and be appealed to a lot of people. We'll talk about it maybe another time, because we're talking Jesus. Stand by. It's Easter weekend. Monsignor Mark Meridian next. You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose, because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
News. I'm CJ Papa. President Trump reveals the U.S. is chatting with China.
President Trump says that Chinese officials have been in touch with American officials over these tariffs, and that the two countries could reach an agreement within the next 3 to 4 weeks. Now, the president did strike a trade deal with China in his first term, though Beijing never fulfilled its commitments.
Fox's Rich Edson at the White House. Students evacuated during the mass shooting at Florida State University will be allowed to collect their personal belongings later today.
2 people confirmed dead. Authorities say they are not students, and we're working to find out more about the 6 people injured who are in the hospital right now. But students who go here to FSU are understandably very shaken up.
That's Fox's Madison Scarpino on the campus in Tallahassee. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 2 teens in custody after a video posted to Snapchat appears to show them holding another boy at gunpoint in Hoopeston. Police arresting 3 juveniles, an 11-year-old release, while 2 14-year-old suspects transported to the Vermilion County Juvenile Detention Center. The 2 suspects and the victim all attend the same school. Illinois Amish Heritage Center getting ready for an expansion. The center east of Arthur and west of Arcola, just off the I-57 exit, announced the groundbreaking of a new 10,000-square-foot visitor and museum center. The center also developing curriculum for school field trips and speaker series, all meant to celebrate the Amish culture. The project costing about $3 million. Eastern Illinois University Board of Trustees set to vote on a proposed tuition increase of 2.75% today. In the proposal, state law provides that tuition for new undergraduate Illinois resident students will stay the same for 4 straight academic years. And that's a look at what's happening here locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, we check our weather this morning with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by Busey for over 155 years. Busey, member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity on this Good Friday. Going to be a summer-like feel as the day wears on. Increasing south wind 20 to 30 miles per hour and gusty. Sunshine this morning, a partly sunny afternoon. Up either side of 80 and a remote chance for a stray shower thunderstorm late this afternoon or evening time. Otherwise, 4 to 9 periods of showers and thunderstorms, widespread good soaking rains across the area. 57 for the low. Gusty southwest wind will diminish and turn northwest to north for day. Tomorrow, much cooler. Showers in the morning and perhaps in the afternoon with a rumble of thunder in spots, then a high at 62. Scattered showers, cooler 49 for tomorrow night. Easter Sunday, yeah, some rain around in the early to mid morning. Back in for the afternoon, mostly cloudy 68 up to 65 and a couple of showers on Monday. Dry Tuesday at 73, low to mid 70s. That's better Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but each day an outbreak of showers and thunderstorms across the area. Overnight readings into the 50s. Have a great Easter for Stevie J Broadcasting. I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Well, we thank you, Greg. 62 degrees in central Illinois, but now live, you are looking live at Ottawa, Illinois, and it's Monsignor Mark Meridian. Why did you ever leave St. Matthew's again? Did I not get a vote on that, or how's that? What the heck, man?
You know, the church isn't democratic, Stevie J. You know how this works.
Well, Ottawa is lucky. St. Pat's is lucky to have and you are the most, as humble of a man as I've met, just good guy that just wants to help people find Jesus Christ. So my brother...
Thank you. Praise God. Happy, blessed Good Friday to you.
As well, my brother Johnny is here. He's been a great example for me with his Christian faith all his life, and very much... knowledgeable in the Word. So here is the day that we commemorate and eventually celebrate, Sunday, when Jesus Christ and his disciples were having the Last Supper, First Eucharist, right? First Communion.
Last night.
Right.
Last night. So then this is last night, late after dinner, they go to the Garden of Gethsemane, I think, and Jesus is praying, I would take this from me if possible, but if it be your will be done. But he was telling the disciples all along, and the disciples seemed kind of shocked this all happened. Is that true?
Right. That his own friends would betray him, you know? That's kind of interesting that Judas was the one to betray him, who left at night to do the dark deed of really rejecting the Lord. So, yeah, he goes to the garden, a place of prayer. And, you know, the garden is symbolic of the Garden of Eden, where there was beauty and yet betrayal by Adam and Eve, who said no to God. So, you know, beautiful juxtaposition there of Jesus's really betrayal by his own friends.
And Jesus said essentially, why you come with swords? You heard me preaching for a very long time, and yet you come with swords. And I think in Passion of the Christ, wasn't it Peter that grabbed a sword and cut the ear off one of the... Did Jesus heal the ear? I haven't really...
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Jesus healed the ear.
Wow.
Yeah, he showed us. You know, and that's a perfect example of Jesus showing his messiahship, that he is truly the Son of God. He healed that man right then and there. What another proof, you know, for the people to see right there from the Bible that we hear.
Monsignor, I always think of myself as the Roman who had his ear cut off, and then Jesus puts it back on. I'm going, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Wait a minute here.
Let's cancel this.
Did you guys see that?
And yet it was just it endured what? What other human besides Jesus would have not collapsed in pain and all the long hours that all that happened, I think, was at night, and then the whipping and everything else. What is the timeline of the day?
Yeah, so, you know, after Jesus was arrested, he would have gone for a probably 2 or 3 hour interrogation before the high priest, who had the power to do that, according to Rome. And after that, you know, think of the abandonment, the mockery. You know, Peter's in the garden. I don't know the man. And I'm sure Jesus felt that shift in the force, you know, in nature, when Peter said that against him. And then after that interrogation, and there probably would have been some mockery, some, you know, violent attacks on the Lord, he was thrown in a pit in the high priest's house. And it was there they just probably sat without any food or water, nothing, since the time of the Last Supper. So very much a time of abandonment. You know, my God, why have you abandoned me? You know, Psalm 22. So
he couldn't carry the cross, right? Because the cross is too heavy. And somebody was asked to help him carry that cross. But at that point, he'd been whipped. There'd been no food. There'd been no water. How did he continue to stand?
Well, you know, that's once again the power of divine grace, because this was all part of, you know, the Father's plan for the salvation of each one of our souls. So, you know, God gives extraordinary grace, extraordinary strength to us when we need it, right? And we would say that mothers and fathers have that at times. You know, you have your stamina that really rises to the level when you need it. I think Jesus was given that by the power of grace, and I'm sure the holy angels too.
And so they get to the point of crucifixion. Was it about mid-afternoon, 2 or 3?
Mid-afternoon. Well, right. Well, he died at 3. So they, you know, some of the scripture authors say that he was crucified around 9. Around 9. So it could have been a little bit later. But he hung on the cross in agony for 3 hours and expired, gave his life for us around 3 in the afternoon. That's why 3 in the afternoon is the hour of mercy, or the hour of divine grace when we talk about it.
And of course, the curtain was ripped in two, which was another kind of wow. And what I think about on Good Friday are those 7, the message Jesus gave while he's dying on the cross, but those were not random yells. His 7 words were something I think recapped his whole mission. And I try to heed and pay attention to what he was telling us on those last words, Monsignor, because I think...
Yeah, Fulton Sheen has some beautiful meditations on that, Archbishop Fulton Sheen. So if anyone's ever interested, you can Google his 7 last words. He gave a famous talk on that and wrote a book on the subject as well. And I think, the beautiful words, I thirst. What does Jesus thirst for? He thirsts for our love, our soul. He thirsts for to give us life,
And I think my favorite, if there's a favorite, but it is, which is, today you will be with me in paradise. Because, Monsignor, I don't like to be judgmental, but I got to be at least tied with that guy. Because here's this robber on the cross. And I don't know how great a lie. He even said, we deserve this.
Yeah.
This man is innocent. Yeah. Lord, just remember me when you get into heaven. And he said, today you will be with me in paradise. So it's a free gift, but he would like us to spread the word. I mean, that's reasonable. Yeah. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, oh yeah, and to trust in God's merciful love for us. That's the beautiful thing. God doesn't want us to be separated. God wants us to be united with him. So if we strive to live that righteous life of the Lord, then we can say those words of the criminal on the cross, Lord, remember me. And Jesus said, I will remember you.
So we had Mary Magdalene.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's awesome, and it's available to everybody. You had Mary Magdalene and Mary, and what was it with John? Why didn't he run? Why didn't the disciple John run?
Was a special guy, I guess, Monsignor, because...
somebody has a name like that who's right there.
Well, no, but seriously, he said, behold your mother. In other words, I'm turning my mother's care over to you.
Son,
but 10 other guys ran, and what was that?
I would have been...
John,
I was pretty fast. I'd have been in a lead in the pack.
But was John like a teenager? Was he like young, 19? And he was...
John would have been. He's up for new ideas and new things, and he's not. How young people have really a lack of fear sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe that was God gave that to him, so that he could be there in support of Mary and the holy women and Jesus, huh?
Yeah, and he's the only one that died in his sleep, right? I mean, everybody else was martyred and all that. But a remarkable, and always reference the one who Jesus loved.
And some of the things I hear a lot is for new Christians that they're told read the Gospel of John,
right?
Read John,
and right.
No, that's awesome. Okay,
that's because John was there, right? He's an eyewitness. And here he is. He can share this. He can write this by the Holy Spirit, because he was there. He was present.
So they take his body. They lay him in the tomb. They roll the big stone over. What happens to Jesus then? I mean, some accounts say he went to hell, and I don't understand why Jesus would ever have gone to hell. So I don't quite understand that.
Well, in a sense, he went down there to let everyone know, in a sense, who didn't have the gift of salvation at that moment in time, that he had come to bring salvation, right?
Okay, but
that's why he went down there, to give them the good news.
Would it have saved people in hell at that point? Or it's too late?
Well, no,
because there wasn't a chance of salvation yet. So
I see.
Christ is the one who gave us salvation by his very death on the cross in the name of God, right?
Yep. Okay.
So he offered that gift of salvation at that moment in time, because there was only Sheol, the ending of life, and then eternal life with Jesus.
Groundbreaking. Okay, so
what great news that would be.
It is good news. It's huge. So everybody's kind of in limbo till that point. We didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, right.
All right, so then on Mary goes to the tomb. The stone is rolled away. She's crying, and then it all begins. So
it's Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene goes to the right.
Yeah, because the Marys get confused.
Right. So Mary Magdalene went there and crying. Why did you take my Lord? Where is he? Do you know where he is? And then the first person that Jesus appears to is a woman. It's Mary Magdalene, and there at very early in the morning, sunrise. Correct?
Yeah. That's why we have sunrise services. Yeah. That whole idea, when that was made known, the resurrection of Jesus.
And so he appears to 400. What was any idea of the number? How many times did he appear? And was he?
Well, he appeared. There were 3 appearances that the scriptures tell us. Some were to a smaller group, some were to a larger group. So that's a reference for all of the believers to see that Jesus appeared not just to individuals, but to large groups of people. They witnessed it, just like the miracle at Fatima. It wasn't just one person who saw this. It was hundreds and hundreds of people And so that's a sign, once again, that God always wants to be with us, even after the darkest hour.
Was he always in pure human form? Because Thomas had to touch the holes in his hand, but did he come through doors and things like that too, or?
Right. So in some fashion, we believe after life after death, we have some type of bodily form. So obviously Jesus was recognizable, so he had to have some form that they recognized.
Yeah, right.
But he was spirit, and yet, had that element of a bodily form so that they could see him and know him and hear him and touch him.
I certainly struggle at times being anxious when I shouldn't be, because I know God is with me, all these things, but we're human. Listen, humans inherently, I told Johnny, they're weak, man. We're pretty weak. So when they saw Jesus, I think the proverbial light bulb went over the head, and Peter's going, I got this now. Okay. Yeah, that's what you meant. And so they went out and did what they did, was this extraordinary. And how about using a guy like Saul/Paul, writing 13 books in the New Testament? I mean, this is a guy that was a bad guy, martyred Stephen, the whole thing, and here he is, one of the stars of the New Testament, is a guy that was that.
Jesus understands that faith is difficult, and he illustrated that with doubting Thomas, who actually had to see the wounds before he said, oh my goodness, it's really you.
Right.
And he said, well, blessed are those who never see and believe, because you get to see.
And so obviously that's an awareness. Jesus knew how many of us are. So he knows some of us are believers. Some of us need a little bit more encouragement and examples, huh?
And there's that's why I wasn't there to watch all this, but there's no way the humans would have rallied and said, we got to get this going. Let's go. Just say he's living. There's no chance of that.
No, right. That wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen. And so this thing and what has happened, we're still talking about this over 2,000 years ago. It's a real deal, and for those, and yet this earth is with 8.5 billion people, Monsignors. They're like a hamster on a wheel. There's so many of us that are constantly searching, and when we find Jesus, we feel this wholeness,
a peace.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And the Lord's words to us are always encouraging, and we're never far from the Lord. All we have to do is turn our lives over to the Lord and acknowledge our sinfulness and give our life to Christ. And Jesus acknowledges that beautiful prayer.
Someone had texted in to 359-2255 to add to our discussion. I always thought that God allowed John to die of old age because he had been the only one of the disciples that had been brave enough to be at the crucifixion.
Yeah, that's a beautiful line too, huh? Yeah. And we needed an eyewitness, and John is one of those.
Well, and you want to read something that John wrote, was the Revelation. Yikes. That's not a good thing.
Well, I mean, it's a prediction.
But it's awful. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you want to have faith there.
Oh my. It doesn't look good. And, some people say, well, we're near the end of times. We don't know that. We don't know the time, the day, right, Monsignor? We don't know.
Right. And John was writing it during the persecution. So a lot of the book of Revelation is a encrypted code, in a sense, for the early Christian church where they were being martyred and persecuted.
As we plug in our faith to some of the modern things, have you watched the Chosen series, Monsignor?
Yeah, I've watched a few of the series. Yes, I have seen it, and I like it. It's very encouraging, and how beautiful to watch good stuff on TV or on the internet that really builds us up in love and builds us up in the way of Christ.
No, it's a huge, I said if we don't have Easter, obviously we're not celebrating Christmas, right? This is big. This is a big deal. This is a big weekend.
And I think the actors, in The Chosen also are very devout. I mean, they're actors in a sense, and you need to portray that. But I think it's very convincing that they are truly believers.
I've heard stories about actors who have played Jesus and they become converted. Actually,
Well, Jim Knievel played it in Passion of the Christ,
right?
And he said, he's talking to Rush Limbaugh back in the day, saying, "Hey, I'm 33 years old. I'm playing Jesus," and very, very calm and yet very. I think the whole crew went to mass every morning when they were doing that movie with Mel Gibson. Passion of the Christ, your thoughts on that? And then they're doing the resurrection. They're starting the filming production of the resurrection. What are your thoughts on all that? Is that good because it spreads the word, Monsignor?
Yeah, I think so. I think Mel Gibson, it's a number of years since that movie has come out, but he took a little bit of artistic license in some of the story. But I think that the movie really conveys the presence not only of Jesus' love, but also how that fight against evil is always there in our hearts and in our lives. And to show it evil personified, that Jesus had to conquer that, is real. And I think that was a really, really good part of. That's one thing I truly remember from the movie.
Well, the resurrection is the good news. Now we get, that's going to be pretty amazing to see. I would think.
Movie from back in 2004. Yeah. One of the scenes that I felt was impactful was when Jesus died on the cross, and you have that tear, that first raindrop coming from heaven.
Yeah.
And you see this kind of world through this, teardrop or something, and then the storm and just feeling so bad that Jesus just died.
Torn curtain, but then when the sky got dark?
That curtain, by the way, was about 3 feet thick. It wasn't like, that was just ripped.
Well, but then the sky got dark and all that. Wouldn't somebody have said, guys, what do we do here? I think we really messed up. Okay.
And, remember that he got struck with lightning, too. There was a lightning strike very near the crucifixion scene when they were filming that.
Oh, no kidding.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, true story.
Interesting.
Well, Monsignor, I'd like Johnny and Diane and I and you to play a little Bible trivia. I'll take Monsignor, and we'll play teams, and play a little trivia. I'll take Monsignor.
Okay.
Listen, I think you're wonderful at what you do, Mark. You always have been, and it's you are such a force of good.
God bless you, and have a great Easter weekend.
Praise God. That's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, you can't. And again, I'm a human talking. You can't be Pope, can you? Is that
no
possible?
That's too much work.
Okay.
I want to just. I just want to serve God's holy people as a pastor. I love it.
Well,
it's a great grace. It really is.
Whoever's around you, they're blessed, and God bless you, Monsignor. We really appreciate you chatting about this. It's a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we're excited about it. So thanks so much for sharing.
Amen. Hey, thanks so much, and let's keep glorifying the Lord. I love it.
You got it. Thank you so much, Monsignor.
Take care.
All right, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Monsignor Mark Meridian up in Ottawa, Illinois. Just as likable of a person. Just knew him.
Yeah,
back,
he really is.
Back in, in fact, I remember I was just asking these. I remember one time I said, "Boy, Monsignor, I've got a lot of questions." He said, "Well, he said, I have the answers because my answers are from God."
There you go.
I said, "Wow." So he, I asked him. Remember Osama bin Laden when he was killed?
Yes.
I said, "So how do we react to that?" And he said, "You react with satisfaction that justice has been served, but you're not gleeful. You're not jumping up and down and doing all those things. You're very satisfied that justice was served."
Right. I think also there was some relief that he was gone because he was still working behind.
I know.
That's right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Such absolute evil.
Such unrest in the Middle East.
But what has happened? Do you think from 2,000 years ago to today's leaders? Is there not the same human failure and instinct of power and money and greed and all those bad things? Well, we still have it today, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's changed in the human.
They don't have anything on Caiaphas. I can tell you that. I played Caiaphas in a church play, and
that was the first guy he went to, correct?
That's kind of the opposite of playing Jesus, which I also played in that play.
Did you?
But the Caiaphas guy was really bad news. He set everything up and orchestrated the whole thing and talked to Pilate and said, "We got to get this
right."
done. And
Pilate didn't want the uprising. He also didn't want to do it.
Well, he didn't see that there was anything wrong with Jesus.
But you can't wash your hands of that, right? I mean, he could.
Well, no, because he had the
power to do it.
He had the authority, and he didn't. No, they were just as bad or worse back then. Through the years, Steve, through the years.
Rough. All right. Thank you for indulging us in a very important conversation with Monsignor Mark Meridian in Ottawa. A pleasure having him on, as always. All right, it is 7:53. It's Brother Johnny, Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J. We're going to check your weather right now, brought to you by Kramer's Siding and Window.
Your premier provider for home improvements. And if you're poking around on a new door, you could save 25%. Be energy efficient. The beauty of a new door. Learn more at kramersiding.com.
So again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity on this Good Friday, and it'll be just that weather-wise with a summer-like feel. Well, you're going to need plans B and C as we head deeper into the Easter holiday weekend, including on Easter Sunday itself. A windy, warmer one expected today. Skies will turn partly sunny later this afternoon. That could breed a lone, isolated shower thunderstorm late in the afternoon, up around 80 with a gusty south wind 20 to 30 miles per hour. Periods of showers, thunderstorms for tonight. Some good soaking rains across the area, breezy mild 57 on a southwest wind that'll turn northwest to north tomorrow, so markedly cooler with variably cloudy skies, a couple of showers and isolated thunderstorms morning and afternoon as well, the high up to 62. Scattered showers tomorrow night, low down to 49, and some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder both Easter Sunday morning and the afternoon, the high at 68. 65 and a lingering shower threat on Monday, dry Tuesday 73, into the 70s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Each day a couple of showers and thunderstorms. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
All right, Tim, Gale Ferrex Trucking, looking for drivers at all?
Yeah, we're going to do a little push here. And until we get the trucks full, I'm going to do something a little bit crazy. We're going to go ahead and reinstitute our $4,000 sign-on bonus for the month of April. So I can guarantee the first two guys that come in are going to get that. Now, after that, that will fill up the trucks, and I don't know what we'll have to reevaluate then, but we'll carry that through either till the end of April or till the trucks are filled up.
To the person listening, Tim, what do they do to get this $4,000 signing bonus in case they'd like to act on that?
They can email me at timo@gftlog.com. They can call my office at 765-793-7131. They can drop by Dedicated Diesel in Urbana at 1313 Triumph Drive and see Mandy, and she can get them the paperwork and get them in touch with me.
Are you ready? A free trip to the most lavish resort out of this world. The most spectacular landscapes and majestic views ever imagined, where all human pains, afflictions, worries, concerns, they'll all be gone for eternity. You're right, it will be heaven. Well, it is very simple. Start your journey today. The Lord opens His welcoming arms to greet you. And this week, visit His house. Attend church services of your choice. We have found the Lord at Muhammad Christian Church. Listen to the words. Jesus will guide you as to where you need to be. And for our friends in nursing homes or assisted living, please attend your weekly prayer services. It is that simple. Start your journey today. The Lord will put His arm around you and give you comfort. Take away all your problems, anxieties, and pains for eternity. Are you ready? The Lord has been expecting you.
You know, with like Lands Inc., we specialize in, we've got an amazing HVAC department that takes care of your furnace, you know, your heat system, air conditioning, they do
pumps,
that.
yeah.
And for us in Underground, we take care of all your pipes that come into your home, leave your home, and work around your home to keep it dry, you know, your drainage system, sump pumps, things like that. And exactly what you said, if you don't know, you know, a couple decades ago, it was more like, oh, something broke, go fix it, repair it, no big deal. Well, now with the technology, we have cameras, like you said, that we can come in on these orange comfort clubs, and we can camera your sewer lines underneath your house and check them out just to make sure they're fine. If there's something wrong with it, we can show you right then. You know, truth is in seeing it.
Yeah.
We show it to you, and then you can plan as a homeowner for making those repairs or dealing with that issue later on. If it's an immediate need, at least you're not caught off surprise.
That sewer camera inspection with a proper clean out. I was just learning more at landsinc.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone.
We're always looking for people. You can go online and apply on our website. We never know what we're going to need. We're always expanding. We're always building more and growing our business. If we don't need a person and they come along and we find out that they're an eagle, they're a star, we'll hire them. We'll put them somewhere and wait for the spot we're going to have them working.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
A grandstander begging for attention. I'm Chris Foster of Fox News. That's President Trump's description of a senator visiting El Salvador. In El Salvador, the man deported from Maryland.
Senator Chris Van Hollen said he tried to drive to the El Salvador prison holding Gilmar Abrego Garcia, but his car was stopped.
We were told by the soldiers that they'd been ordered not to allow us to proceed.
But soon after, the senator posted on X a photo of him and Garcia sitting at a table, saying he got a chance to meet with him. He also said, I have called his wife Jennifer to pass along his message of love. I look forward to providing a full update upon my return. Garcia was deported from Maryland earlier this year. The White House has been saying that was due to a clerical error. The Trump administration also accuses him of being a member of MS-13. Jill Nato, Fox News.
The Houthi rebel group says 74 people are dead, 171 injured in U.S. airstrikes on an oil port they control in Yemen. U.S. Central Command says the goal was to eliminate a source of fuel and the terrorists' illegal revenue. Secretary of State Rubio says Ukraine-Russia peace talks have to show progress soon.
If it's not possible, if we're so far apart that this is not going to happen, then I think the president's probably at a point where he's going to say, well, we're done.
Secretary Rubio in Paris. Luigi Mangione is now facing federal charges.
He's accused in the deadly shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, gunned down late last year on a Manhattan sidewalk. The killing galvanized health insurance critics and led to a 5-day manhunt. Mangione is now charged with 2 counts of stalking, a firearm offense, as well as murder. The latter charge could clear the way for Attorney General Pam Bondi to seek the death penalty.
Tom Graham there. Classes are canceled at Florida State University. There's a vigil tonight for 2 people killed in the mass shooting on campus. 6 are wounded. So is the suspect shot by police. A 20-year-old student, son of a sheriff's deputy. No word on a motive. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's been some optimistic talk about tariffs and trade.
President Trump says the Chinese officials have been in touch with American officials over these tariffs and that the 2 countries could reach an agreement within the next 3 to 4 weeks. Yesterday, President Trump met here with Italian Prime Minister Meloni. The day before, he met with Japanese trade officials and spoke on the phone with Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum. Both the U.S. and Mexico described that call as very productive.
Fox's Rich Edson at the White House. Mississippi's highest court rejects a transgender teen's petition for a name change.
In an 8-1 ruling, the Mississippi Supreme Court upholding a lower court's decision denying a teen who is undergoing a gender transition from changing their name to better fit their gender identity. In 2023, the then 16-year-old's mother filing the initial petition, which includes pushing to change her child's first name to a more masculine moniker. While both parents consented to the changes, a judge denying the request, citing the teen's lack of maturity. The family appealing. The Mississippi Supreme Court saying in a statement the petitioner's primary appellate argument is that the chancellor had no discretion to deny the name change petition because it was uncontested and both parents agreed. But Mississippi law says otherwise. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
The fight for America's freedoms being celebrated in Boston.
Tomorrow marks 250 years since the start of the American Revolution, and Boston is hosting a year-long commemoration honoring the city's foundational role, starting with a historic reenactment today of Paul Revere's Midnight Ride to warn of the approach of British soldiers prior to the battles of Lexington and Concord. The kickoff event includes a performance by the Boston Pops, a lantern procession, and a drone show over the Boston Harbor. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
99.8% of homes and businesses in Puerto Rico reported they have their power back on. There was an island-wide blackout Wednesday. The cause of that, unclear. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. After 5 years of development, fighting through a pandemic and more, Hotel Royer in Urbana opened for business again. A 100-year-old building has been fully renovated, and on Wednesday, folks got to see it all. The owners say the project hasn't always been smooth, but now seeing the finished product, it was all worth it, they say. 2 teens in custody after a video posted to Snapchat appears to show them holding another boy at gunpoint in Hoopeston. Police arresting 3 juveniles. An 11-year-old released while 2 14-year-old suspects transported to Vermilion County Juvenile Detention Center. The 2 suspects and the victim all attend the same school. Illinois lawmakers moving forward with a bill that would ban 2 food additives. The measure approved by the state Senate would ban 2 chemicals often found in flour of baked goods. If passed, businesses in the state wouldn't be allowed to distribute food products with those additives. The bill now heads to the Illinois House. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
So Greg Solier had weather climate class, 8 a.m. Eastern Illinois. I think Diane had the same class.
Same thing.
So we don't know tons about anything.
Yeah.
But I don't see any radar that shows me rain. So how does that work? Does it just kind of form and just kind of, here it comes? And,
well, that can happen, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
yeah. It can form up, it can develop, i.e. like, summertime thunderstorms when it's the right setup, heat, humidity, things bubble up. Yeah, you can develop it. You can see it move in, move out.
Yeah. Well, again, it was 8 a.m. and all I remember quadrants and all that stuff. But
that's part of the vector system.
Actually,
the vector system that we use in meteorology.
It was my last semester, and I had all A's except that class. I got a B.
Oh, well, that's very good. Yeah. You still did very good in it.
He did learn that he should get someone like Greg Solier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. I wouldn't do surgery on myself either.
So for that reason, consider that extra credit then bumps you up to an A.
There you go. And I will take it, sir.
Right.
I will take it.
There you go.
It's our meteorologist.
Well done.
Thank you. We will now talk a little weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier painting the picture for our Easter egg hunts in Easter. What do you got?
Yeah, plans B and C like we've been talking about all week long. And maybe not only wet out there from overnight rain Saturday, but there may be some additional showers that are still coming through in the early to mid morning. So proper wet weather gear over the Easter finery as you head out Sunday morning and even out for the day today in relatively quiet order. Weather-wise, big storms through Wisconsin right now. The Dells, Madison, Milwaukee up to Lambeau and heading across the lake. That's the warm front that's pushed through the area. But to our southwest, already flood watches in effect as close in as Effingham and from there south of Springfield and all the way down into Oklahoma, that very wet, saturated grounds. Wouldn't be surprised if we ultimately get into that over the weekend or next week too. A lot of rain coming our way. But in the meantime, enjoy the wind-blown, dry, very spring-like feel at 66 at Willard and Savoy, 67 Danville, 65 Bloomington Normal, 63 already at the Kankakee, and they're closing in on 70 in downtown St. Louis. We'll head towards an afternoon high today here in East Central Illinois with sunshine generally this morning. to partly sunny afternoon to around 80. Either side of that, south wind 20 to 30 and gusty already. Periods of showers and thunderstorms overspread the area. They'll develop south and southwest, move our way. Overnight readings tonight down to 57. And there'll be probably some pretty good soakers across the area tonight and into early tomorrow morning. And then a break. The new showers come back tomorrow afternoon. A much cooler day at 62. Near 50 tomorrow night. Scattered showers early and late, of which will linger probably into Easter sunrise services. Will be around 50 at daybreak. Later in the day, 68. Showers in the morning, showers in the afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm as well. 65, still wet on Monday. Tuesday, 73. That's the only dry day. We're back into wet weather, but at least temperatures are in the low to mid 70s the second half of next week. At least 1 to 3 inches of rain coming our way for openers. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Happy Easter. Great weekend, my friend. Appreciate you.
Pretty much egg hunts every hour, starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and I'm hoping it has good weather for the kids. You know, when I was working out in Lafayette, Louisiana at a radio station, we did 10,000 eggs. That was insane trying to stuff all those.
It was still over in 5 minutes.
It is.
It's unbelievable.
You can say that the eggs represent new lives.
Yes.
But
Yes.
when you're throwing the bunny, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
They actually don't lay eggs, but they come up with them.
And typically, you know, we didn't know what we were doing when we put this extravaganza on, and we just had everybody like circle around the eggs that were right in the middle of this.
But there are how
giant
many
park.
kids? A lot.
That's what I'm saying. Nowadays, they have it down to a science. So it's like 3 and under the toddler, and you know they're just totally waddling, and they'll pick one up and they'll look at it
right.
and then they might run off with it, and they might put it in the basket. Or they
Well, the kids always love it.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
But then you get older and older kids who are like, you know, pushing people over and trying to, you know, get as many as possible. And if you have the golden egg, that has a special prize.
Let me elbow you on this lovely weekend.
Exactly.
Well, I had a memorable. I've told this story before with Charlie, our English cream, Big Charlie and Bella. 2 Goldens, but they're white, the white cream ones. Anyway, so I had left the Easter eggs in my study under my desk to hide them. Well, that's at nose level for Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlie got into the eggs, and chocolate and dogs is bad.
Oh,
so
chocolate
it was a mess in that study, and a lot had been consumed.
Okay.
So I called Dr. Todd, and I said, what do I do? He says, you have to make them throw up. So what you do to make a dog throw up is you get a piece of bread and put hydrogen peroxide on it.
Wow.
So Bella ate it, and Charlie ate it. Of course, they'd eat anything. And poor little Bella threw up nothing. Charlie threw up a candy aisle, wrappers and all.
Wow.
The whole candy bar. I mean, we're talking about.
Why did you even give it to Bella? She wasn't even in on it.
I didn't know.
Yeah, and that's
so I was. It was such
collateral
a
damage.
So kidding, collateral damage. And so poor Bella. And so Charlie, I nicknamed him Candy Aisle because the whole. I mean, we're talking about 8 pieces.
Well, it's lucky you did that.
No kidding. He would have been totally dead.
That's right.
But it was like, oh, come on. It was my fault I left it on the floor.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, we wish all of you happy Easter. Many, many people off work today. John Decker took 4-day weekend. Mm-hmm. And so it's, and the weather is starting to get warmer. The farmers are trying to plant, which is nice. And so we, you know, I don't know. It's been kind of a new pattern. Winter around here has not been horrible at all for the last few years, knock on wood. But then spring comes, and it's kind of spring, kind of not, kind of cold. And then summer, it's 90. So it's just kind of odd pattern we have in the last decade or so. It just has not. And I don't miss the heavy 25-inch snows. I just don't. And I'm okay. And Johnny, I've said this, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I think the snowbirds look smarter as I age.
Okay.
Why would you mess with the winter? It's a mess. Sometimes it can be so darn cold, and the wind chills and all that other stuff. That's it's aging, right?
It's warm is good.
But you could not, you would not enjoy winters anymore, not like you used to.
I wasn't enjoying last week. And Bobby finally had to tell me, quit looking at the New Orleans weather.
Yes, right. That's a good point.
Grass is greener syndrome.
No, that's exactly right. All right, ESPN 93.5, our Fisher National Bank text line, 217-359-2255. If you have anything to say today.
Cubs had the day off yesterday. They'll have Arizona. It's a 1:20 start today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
I think you should say first place Cubs.
First place Cubs.
I mean, while they're there, let's enjoy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right.
All right.
First place Cubs until they're not.
And Arizona, that shouldn't be. Well, they're 12-7. We're 12 and Cubs are 12-9 on
look
the
down
season.
at the National League West. You have
Okay.
the Padres, the Dodgers, the Giants. You had Arizona, and then there's Colorado, like 3-13. But everybody else is like maybe a playoff team. Good luck playing anybody in the West. It's crazy. Dodgers spent $9 zillion in there in third place.
Well,
It's
that's
early.
all a matter of time.
This search, it says Padres, Dodgers, Giants, Diamondbacks, Rockies.
Yeah, that's about right. Padres are in first.
Okay.
So.
And that's who the Cubs just played.
But Arizona's good. The point is the Cubs play Arizona, and they're pretty good. So. Anyway, first place
And
Cubs.
Mets are pretty good.
Mets
so-
are good. They played $500 million for Juan Soto, came from the Yankees to the Mets across town.
Okay.
And so that team has a different dynamic. So
I was just going to look up the promotions that are happening. St. Louis Cardinals has so many great giveaways
yeah,
during
they
their
do.
season.
They spend some money.
We are handing out those pocket schedules here at our studios. 4-1 though, with the Mets on top yesterday. A's over the White Sox 8-0. They'll start up a series against Boston. When it comes to the Illini, our baseball team's in Seattle for a first pitch at 9 p.m. against Washington. Illinois softball in West Lafayette to take on Purdue. They will eliminate the Sunday game because of weather that they are predicting.
Baseball team goes commercial too. I don't think that's charter.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
I mean, that is long distance.
Non-revenue sport. They should get but I mean, that'd be a fortune to take a jet that would hold all the baseball team, all their equipment. That's a long flight. New added deal. I think they take commercial. Maybe they did take a charter. I don't know. I think Dan Hartlip deserves a charter, man.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah, Big Ten champions last year now.
I was saying the softball team has a doubleheader today that starts at 1 against Purdue. And Illinois women's golf is in a Big Ten tournament at Maryland. Let's see. The Stanley Cup starts tomorrow. And as far as the NHL action, St. Louis is at Winnipeg to take on the Jets tomorrow. And I know that kicking was talked about with Coach Brett Bielema doing a challenge on May 8th, a 35-yard field goal to upgrade the student ticket to a better ticket.
No, I think it's for free.
Oh.
I think you have a chance to get it paid for, but I think it's a drawing, just the way you said it.
Gotcha.
It's for students only. If you bought a ticket for the season tickets, and that north end zone last year's pretty packed. There's a lot of kids that could participate if they bought a ticket, and then you have a chance to get it for free. And I don't know what a student ticket costs. Probably not a ton.
Right.
But it's still nice. It's cool.
Absolutely.
It might be a secret recruiting to find some kid out there that can boom it. I don't know.
That's true, Steve.
You never know.
Yes, sir.
Josh and Hope Whitman due to be on Monday the 21st. If you want to listen in the 8 o'clock hour, they're being honored by Area Rotary with an action auction at the end of May. Farmer City Raceway with that full show tonight. Hot Laps start at 6:30.
Hey, your dedication to education paid off. Your college diploma's in hand. It's just about all over for you. As you enter the workforce, prepare for your financial future with Busey. From personal finance to business lending and beyond, Busey has the resources to transition from the classroom to the boardroom. Exercise smart spending habits and live within your means. Think before making major purchases. Build an emergency fund. Pay down your debt. Saving for retirement. If you start saving when you're 24 years old and you're consistent, you don't touch it, and it's in some 401, whatever it's in, you're going to like the number when you're 65. Create a budget. Matters. Go to there's a blog on Busey.com called Money Matters, and you can learn more about the financial calculators they carry and just how you can organize everything to know where your money's going. Graduation's upon us here in a few weeks. Great time to start on the right foot financially. Let Busey put you on the path to success with customized solutions to your financial needs. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of their many convenient locations today. Member FDIC. Investment products and services not FDIC insured are not deposits. No bank guarantee. May lose value. Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC. All right, we're going to break for the Fox. There's no markets, so the market guys, when we do these reports on Good Friday, they just generally have to fill with something.
Okay.
So we'll get that report for you coming up momentarily.
Sounds good.
We'll do that. We're glad Brother Johnny's been hanging out in the studio in Philo for a while.
Yeah, and you can actually see him when Stevie changes the camera angle.
I started thinking about that.
X,
we had
Stevie JAY FM.
A sound triggered.
Yes.
When the microphone talks, some sound comes out, the cameras automatically switch.
Yeah.
I bet Brother Greg could probably figure that out.
Well, the technology wasn't developed till about 10 years ago, Steve, so you'll get it.
Maybe
You're going to get her.
Maybe 20. No, it's...
Well, and sometimes we do. It would be challenging, though, for the camera view to go back and forth if we're talking as quickly as we talk sometimes in our
Well, that's why it'll switch back and forth. Whoever's got the mic, like right now, would go to me. And then when Johnny talks, you go to him. There's a sound activated sound.
But it's largely radio, so I don't think it's that urgent. We do have some viewers.
No, there's some, and I think particularly on the drive, we have 4,800 downloads on their podcast in July. Now that podcast's going to be all radio, but the people, having video, I've never quite understood why people even look at it.
Well,
it's like watching a fish in an aquarium, isn't it?
To me, it's on your phone easily on X or Twitter, and it's easy for you to just
well,
hit
in
it and
any
go.
case,
you're not watching the video.
Diana, in about 3 or 4 weeks, Steve and I are going to be more identical than Gary and Larry Franks. So everybody already thinks we look alike. They won't even know the difference.
Yeah, I wonder how that works. Because you're my older brother, and you're way better looking. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Well, you must be getting better looking.
Well,
then,
either that or we're both about. Yeah, that could go either way.
Yeah, it could go either way.
But yeah, no. I've been called Johnny a lot, so it's fine. And our voice patterns are kind
No,
of.
that's always been.
It's
pretty
always,
much
I used to call Bobby and be able to kind of pretend I was John, and for a few words it worked. But
then you'd say something that I wouldn't say.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Greg says maybe a chance of rain, even up to 1 to 3 for the full Easter weekend. Temperature is going to be nice. 79 today. Wow, it's so awesome. 64 now. ESPN 93.5. We check your Fox Business now at 8:20.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Markets are closed today in the U.S. and Europe for Good Friday. Yesterday, the Dow dropped more than 500 points, but the Nasdaq was down only around 21, and the S&P 500 closed higher. Amazon is believed to be better prepared for the trade war than investors think. Morgan Stanley tells the Wall Street Journal around 25% of products sold by Amazon come from China. However, Amazon has a large logistics footprint and relationships with global suppliers around the world, which means it can move more inventory and production to countries not as hard hit by tariffs. Beauty giant L'Oreal says sales improved in the recent quarter, helped by demand in Europe for high-end fragrances and makeup. U.S. sales declined. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
It is time to take the quiz.
It's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We ask people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
I'm having what she's having. It's a quote from a 1989 film starring Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. Name the film.
E.T. When Harry Met Sally.
You got it. When Harry Met Sally.
Either way you did, you can always try again tomorrow. Take the quiz every day at thequiz.fox. Then come back here to see how you did.
Thank you for taking the quiz.
Care is a key factor in maintaining your overall health. Don't delay your health care. If you haven't already scheduled your annual wellness checkup and any recommended screenings and immunizations, do it today. Christie Clinic primary care physicians have same-day appointments available. Talk to a Christie Clinic physician about important screenings and immunizations. You don't want to delay. Make an appointment today at ChristieClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Race weekend, April 24th through the 26th. IllinoisMarathon.com.
Allow me to introduce you to a true friend of mine. And whenever I've had problems, he would listen and always stayed by my side and offered great advice, providing comfort, strength, forgiveness, and healing. His name? Jesus Christ. Come, you're invited to join us, Muhammad Christian Church, as we celebrate what a glorious day this Easter Sunday. And when you arrive, step right in. You will be greeted with smiles, hellos, and a friendly, glad you joined us today. Oh, and please visit our Welcome Center. We are Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad. Visit us for our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m. Celebrate the resurrection of our Savior and allow our friend Jesus Christ to fill your heart with his love. Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad, our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Well, if it's not our good friend Mark Schultz, Urbana Park District, how are you, Mark?
I am fantastic, Stevie. I hope you're having a great morning, too.
Well, happy Easter to you, my friend. It's a pleasure having you on. Always is.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter.
This is, how's your health? Are you good?
I'm good.
All right. Good to hear.
Update on the family, please, since we knew you when you were a single guy. We went through the whole thing.
I bet your kids are 10 years old by now, huh?
Yeah, I can add another 10 years.
Good gosh, man. Come on, Mark. What's up?
Yep, my daughter is a sophomore at the U of I, and son is a junior at the high school, and wife and I will be married 22 years this July.
Well, I remember back when Mark Schultz was an ace newsman at WDWS, and he held our news department together. He's a good man. He's talented, and look what he's doing. Working with the Urbana Park District and holding them up on his shoulders. That's what he's doing. Good work. Hey, so
we've got a lot of good people at the Park District.
I know you do. All right, so what do you got? Some environmental Earth Day kind of stuff,
everyone.
Man. It's coming up. What are you doing at Urbana?
Tomorrow, Earth Day for everyone at Crystal Lake Park. That's the park that's right next to Carl Hospital. And from 1 to 4, it's Earth Day for everybody. Earth Day for everyone, a chance for people to come to the park and enjoy some live music, some activities, learn a little bit about the Earth, learn a little bit about how they can go green at home. You know, just little things. You think, oh, I'll recycle my 6-pack of pop, big whoop. No, actually, it is a big whoop. You're helping the environment. So that's what we're doing on tomorrow from 1 to 4 p.m. at Crystal Lake Park. A chance to come out, learn more about the environment, and enjoy some greening up conditions in our park, and enjoy some good weather. Hopefully the weather will hold for us.
Yeah, it's good. And I find when I fill my recycle dumpster, I have very much less trash. There's no doubt, because a whole lot of that stuff is recyclable.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Isn't it nice that your trash can isn't overflowing?
Yeah, right. That's right. All right, so how can people learn more about tomorrow and get more details, Mark Schultz?
You can always go to Urbana Parks, urbanaparks.org, or you can call us at 217-367-1544.
Hey, keep up your great work at the Urbana Park District, Mark. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Hope it's a big day for you, and hope the weather holds for you, too.
Thank you so much, Stevie and Diane, and happy Easter to all.
Happy Easter. Thank you. Mark Schultz, ESPN 93.5.
Food trucks and community groups, Earth Day for everyone, free activities, live music. I love it. Crystal Lake Park after 1 tomorrow.
2 words, real ID. I got to cover that for you. This is something you have to have. Let me tell you what that is and why you have to have it.
It's a star. It's a star on your license.
It's a separate card.
I got it right there.
Nope.
Steve.
It's just a star on your license.
You have to still go do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got to get a new license with the star.
Star. Real ID can be your license if you have the star. Anyway, I want to talk about that for a moment. Stand by. We'll do that next.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Hi, this is Chris Vandeventer with Philo Exchange Bank. We've defined hometown banking for 14 decades. We've been a legacy of trust and dedication. We believe in the power of community, where every neighbor is a member of our family and not just another name. Unlike many other banks, our lending decisions are made within the walls of the bank. Quite simply, local banking means you get what you need quickly and efficiently.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Attention all truck drivers looking for a new opportunity with great pay and amazing benefits. Gale Frericks Trucking has got you covered. Join their team, receive a $4,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, $4,000 just for coming on board. Plus, enjoy a $1,200 gross weekly pay guarantee. Drive their state-of-the-art Freightliner Cascadia trucks equipped with a revolutionary system designed to reduce weight and downtime. Get home every weekend and some nights during the week with paid vacations and holidays. They offer company-sponsored health insurance and all the benefits you deserve. Regional drivers get first priority. Don't wait. Apply in person at Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive, Urbana, or call Tim at 765-505-1295. That's 765-505-1295. Start your journey today with Gale Frericks Trucking.
Fighting Illini fans, your Illinois football team is coming off a 10-win season as Citrus Bowl champs. This fall, Illinois returns 18 starters from the Citrus Bowl victory, including star quarterback Luke Altmaier for a third straight season. Led by head coach Brett Bielema, the Fighting Illini are listed on nearly every major top 25 ranking for the 2025 season. Stay up to date on all things Fighting Illini football at fightingillini.com. We can't wait to see you back in Memorial Stadium this fall.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
The National Archives is now releasing the classified assassination files on Senator Robert F. Kennedy on its website. The brother of the assassinated President JFK shot dead by Sirhan Sirhan in Los Angeles in 1968 during the presidential primaries. President Trump has ordered the classified files released to clear up enduring mysteries. Secretary of State Rubio in Paris talks says we need to determine if peace is doable between Russia and Ukraine. If it is, we're in. If not, we have to move on, citing other priorities like the direct talks with Iran.
It has to be something that actually not just prevents Iran from having a nuclear weapon now, but in the future as well, not just for 10 years with some sort of sunset provision or the like.
President Trump says his first choice is to see Iran live happily without death. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 2 teens in custody after a video posted to Snapchat appears to show them holding another boy at gunpoint in Hoopeston. Police arresting 3 juveniles, an 11-year-old released while 2 14-year-old suspects transported to Vermilion County Juvenile Detention Center. The 2 suspects and the victim all attend the same school. Illinois lawmakers moving forward with a bill that would ban 2 food additives. The measure approved by the state Senate would ban 2 chemicals often found in flour of baked goods. If passed, businesses in the state wouldn't be allowed to distribute food products with those additives. The bill now heads to the Illinois House. After 5 years of development, fighting through a pandemic and more, Hotel Royer in Urbana opened for business again. A 100-year-old building has been fully renovated, and on Wednesday, folks got to see it all. The owners say the project hasn't always been smooth, but now seeing the finished product, it was all worth it, they say. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and Van vicinity on this Good Friday. Going to be a summer-like feel as the day wears on. Increasing south wind 20 to 30 miles per hour and gusty. Sunshine this morning, a partly sunny afternoon. Up either side of 80 and a remote chance for a stray shower thunderstorm late this afternoon or evening time. Otherwise, 4 to 9 periods of showers and thunderstorms. Widespread, good soaking rains across the area. 57 for the low. Gusty southwest wind will diminish and turn northwest to north for day. Tomorrow, much cooler. Showers in the morning. morning and perhaps in the afternoon with a rumble of thunder in spots, then a high at 62. Scattered showers, cooler 49 for tomorrow night. Easter Sunday, some rain around in the early to mid-morning. Back in for the afternoon, mostly cloudy 68, up to 65, and a couple of showers on Monday. Dry Tuesday at 73, low to mid-70s. That's better Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but each day an outbreak of showers and thunderstorms across the area. Overnight readings into the 50s. Have a great Easter. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
How old's Bernie Sanders? Bernie Sanders is older than Joe Biden, isn't he? I think he's 84.
Right.
83 or 4.
83 or 4. Isn't he pretty hardy?
He's pretty hardy.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no, he's a tough old codger.
Yeah, he really is. And his ism is social.
83.
83, okay. Is social better than communism or Marxism?
It's all leads to the same thing, which is a small group of people who have everything, making sure the rest of us have nothing. Like they're just getting on a private jet right there.
AOC
and that's
Bernie.
fine with me. And he has 3 multi-million-dollar houses, but he's talking about socialism and spreading the wealth, unless, of course, it's me, because I have to make sure everybody spreads the wealth.
Well,
it's like John Kerry said, there's no options for a man like me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No options for a man like me. I'm so sorry to bother you, sir. And really, you can't do what AOC and Bernie are doing.
You can't do
commercial.
it with commercial.
You can't do it.
You're not going to go anywhere.
I just don't stop talking about how bad that is when you board it. That's all. Just stop talking about it.
Yeah, well, when you get off of it and say you cannot fly commercial.
Right, that's right.
And it's like, or jets.
Yeah,
no
right.
jets because of the environment, and we got to stop that. Now I got to go.
I mean, can't you have a hat and, wear a mask or something? Well, wear a mask over your face.
The schedule won't allow it.
Oh.
You can't get connecting
No,
flights.
you can't get from place to place.
You can't get to place.
You can 10 times more places, because I've done it. I've taken a 1-week sales trip from like 7 in the morning to 6 at night, done.
Yeah.
That'd take me a week otherwise.
You're right. And so you can make these stops and way more efficient. What did Shad Khan say? No plane, no gain.
Well, it's just a great business tool, as Jack Nicklaus said, because it's a time machine. And
that's
so
exactly right.
You got to get from each event, and you get to 4 states in a day.
And I don't begrudge him at all, except stop talking about how bad it is for you to do
when
it.
you say you shouldn't be in Jets and do it, that's of course, and we don't like that.
Yeah. All right. So Real ID, it's something that's required by May something, Diane?
Okay, I'll look that
What
up.
is the dedeadline to get a Real ID? What is a Real ID? Well, it's a little deeper into your identification. It's for safety purposes. We had to renew our passports, and I got a mini passport. May 7th.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a mini passport card. And generally when I fly, I have my passport. So I don't need a Real ID if you have your passport. And so you can get a little star on your license. You have to go to the DMV and get it done. And many of you have done it. But if you don't have it, here's what I don't get. You need an ID to buy a bottle of wine. You need an ID to do anything in this world, but yet in voting, you don't. So why is this necessary for me to fly in an airplane? Because I'm dangerous? And why isn't that some sort of suppression or racism or something if I don't have another form of ID to get on an airplane? You can say, well, it's security driven. But why isn't it a good idea to see who's voting and you have a log of that? And anyway, I'm confused by that. So if you don't have a Real ID by May 7, then you might show up at an airport. Johnny's going to be, how many people even know they're supposed to do this?
Maybe half of them.
So that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think it'll be a problem.
So what happens at the airport when you just have your license?
Then I don't know if they're going to actually turn people down or what.
Or they just do deep research and you stand over here for a while we check you out.
But it's a little bit disconcerting if you look at, here I have it, Steve.
Let me see what it looks like.
Real ID requirements established after 9/11 terrorist attacks.
Right.
Okay, so there's your, you got a star
little
on yours.
star.
You're good till 2030, good
so
for you.
What they're saying is that, our airports...
Just go to the DMV, they reissue your license, and you get a little star on it.
But it tells me that they're not very confident in the TSA process, which we all go through, where they look through absolutely everything.
Yeah.
But now they want this little star on the license, which doesn't look that hard to me that someone could get...
kind of fake it, yeah.
And so... Yeah, but they got the back strip and everything. So it's probably another level of identification.
And that's just domestic flights, because in international, you got to take your passport anyway. If you don't have a passport, you can't go there.
Transportation Security Administration says 81% of people approaching airport checkpoints already have their real ID.
81? How would they
and
know
are
that?
compliant identification.
Look in the computer.
Well,
and it
they
tells
do
you?
have. Maybe they do know that. I'm skeptical of the 81, but that's good.
A lot.
That's a lot.
Well, they've been talking about it for like a year and a half.
Yep.
Well, it's been longer than that.
I mean, 9/11 is when
But they
really
really
started to think we need to uptick on
Why
our
did it take
security.
20 some years to actually do it?
Right. Well, then this says enforcement of the new requirements was originally supposed to begin in 2008. It's kind of our government kick the can down the road syndrome, it sounds like to me.
So that is a long time to actually get to the enforcement date, which is May 7th. And I wouldn't be surprised if they kick it back to next year at May 7th.
Most ID cards have a gold or a black star, but California has a yellow bear in the top right.
I think I paid another $20 and got a small passport card, and that substitutes for real ID. So
You got that?
yeah, I went ahead, Janet and I got those too. But I wish I'd have known Willard Airport had global entry and
Yep.
pre-check available.
Talks about the trusted traveler ID, the global entry card, and other different things you can do.
Well,
So-
when Willard Airport has the chance to get pre-check or global ID, I'd like to know about it next time, because I would have done it in a heartbeat. I didn't know it was here.
Well, call somebody on the radio station and tell them to tell you.
Yeah, I
There
know.
you go.
Come on, man.
Yeah, they have a lot of moving and shaking going on at Willard. Their whole a place where you rent cars and stuff
All
like that has
redone.
been redone.
Good.
They had a ribbon cutting recently, so Tim Bannon and his team have been doing a great
No,
job.
it's really the darn thing is that the University of Illinois runs it, and they got to be more committed to getting more airlines coming in and out of here. Because I mean, we're the University of Illinois, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's hard because
They got to have some guarantees.
But we're getting to be a big population center. Come on.
But Bloomington's like kicking butt from the standpoint of options.
Yeah, well, there you go.
We,
So
we
should-
need that.
We should compete a little bit.
I think the chancellor has a lot of say in this, so the next chancellor perhaps could be more of an advocate for Willard to get this going. We were close before COVID of getting United from Champaign to Denver. That'd have been cool. We had American to Charlotte, and that got closed. We had that going to the east. We would have had it going to the west.
United to Denver. Gee,
Oh,
that's what
man.
I want.
Open the West.
God.
Open the West.
Well, I like going to Denver.
I know.
Where my two
I
granddaughters
know. You could have just stopped here and jumped on that direct flight from United. Anyway, I mean, and the people at Willard are working hard to do all that. It's just hard.
are. Maybe I should apply for the chancellor job.
Come on, Johnny. Let's
Just
go.
to get United Denver.
Good idea.
That's not a good idea.
Excuse me. Don't they all have to be PhDs?
Perhaps.
Because you're not in the club, perhaps. Just like the greatest game ever played. Just because you're here doesn't mean you belong. I'm
I
sorry. It's a little hotty there, but
That's a
anyway.
little hotty.
It's a little hotty. Okay, but we have Champaign Dallas I love. But boy, when folks get pre-check, it's worth it. Now, some airports, actually some pretty good-sized airports, don't even honor that. You just still got to go through the big blower, and everybody's got to laugh to the inside of your body that they're looking at. But if you get global, you come in from Spain and you use your thumbprint and bypass everything. Everything is done.
Love it.
Love that. And those lines can be long.
So this talks about identity verification, security making sure passengers are verified as who they say they are before they can go by various checkpoints. And agency recommends travelers arrive at least 3 hours before domestic flights if you don't have a real ID.
I buy that. One other tip, and then
Okay, so you can still
get through, but it's going to take longer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
I was going to say because there's just no way to get to everybody,
No.
and these folks are okay. They just didn't. Who
Goes
knows
where
what
the
they've been
hoop.
doing. They've been busy,
And we got to verify who you are more.
Just memo one quick thing, random, before we take this break. I had a little hand lotion in my bag, and dry hands, so I put it on there, and I used it up. So I use a lot of hand lotion. Dogs. So something in the hand lotion brought the dogs. I was in a special room with dogs.
Okay, because it was on your hands.
And on my hands.
Okay,
But
you
all the bells and whistles went off. So just FYI, don't use the rest of the bottle of hand lotion on your hands.
You know what?
Just
Real
FYI.
quick, it's interesting because the consequences of having elections that aren't valid, so the wrong guy gets in and kind of takes over, is critical.
Yeah,
why is getting on an airplane much more critical than that? And it's no ID. We're fighting for no ID for that. And I think that's as important as getting on a safe airline.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Because wrecking the country is bad.
Elections do have consequences. 843. You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC, MSTC, and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do insulation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance, and they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today, 217-586-3863, or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
Hi, this is Les Hovland with Philo Exchange Bank. At our banks, we know the hearts of our communities beat with the rhythm of agriculture. Ag lending continues to be something we've excelled at for over 140 years. To you, the farmer, your business has been built on trusted relationships. When it comes to your banking relationship, we want to be your trusted partner.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity on this Good Friday. Going to be a summer-like feel as the day wears on. Increasing south wind 20 to 30 miles per hour and gusty. Sunshine this morning, a partly sunny afternoon. Up either side of 80 and a remote chance for a stray shower and thunderstorm late this afternoon or evening time. Otherwise, 4 to 9 periods of showers and thunderstorms. Widespread, good soaking rains across the area. 57 for the low. Gusty southwest wind will diminish and turn northwest to north for the day. Tomorrow, much cooler. Showers in the morning and perhaps in the afternoon with a rumble of thunder in spots, and a high at 62. Scattered showers, cooler 49 for tomorrow night. Easter Sunday, some rain around in the early to mid-morning. Back in for the afternoon, mostly cloudy 68, up to 65, and a couple of showers on Monday. Dry Tuesday at 73, low to mid-70s. That's better Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but each day an outbreak of showers and thunderstorms across the area. Overnight readings into the 50s. Have a great Easter. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's bergtanksinc.com.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
The University of Illinois Police Training Institute has been training police and correctional officers from across Illinois since 1955. 2025 marks the 70th year anniversary, making PTI one of the longest-running academies in the country. On June 28th at Willow Pond Golf Course in Rantoul, become a sponsor or register for the golf outing, with proceeds raised funding the first phase of the relocation plan. Learn more about the Willow Pond Golf Outing June 28th as you visit pti.illinois.edu.
I haven't golfed in a while. Johnny, have you golfed in a while?
Not really.
I mean, back in the day when you were shooting 39 at the front of the Augusta National, that's Masters.
That's why I put those sound
39.
And why would I golf again?
Well, that's true.
That's why I put those sound effects in there, though. When you hear that golf swing,
You're just
hitting that ball, it's
mine
like,
doesn't sound like that. I don't sound like that. Mine goes clank. But Johnny shot a 39. All you golfers out there that are really good at golf, he shot a 39 on the front of Masters. And he said it wasn't the tips. Well, nobody plays the tips.
Well, it was the
Rory McIlroy plays the tips.
It's the members' tees.
Members' tees are what? 6,000 something yards?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were. I'm not enough of an aficionado. So people would know that about Augusta. I didn't.
Member tees, I bet you're 6,500.
I just tried to hit it towards the green.
Well, and your caddy was good.
Yeah.
And your caddy knew you have to aim it toward the tree, not the hole.
He knew where to hit it.
And you hit it. And
I actually got pretty close a few times. I'd never done that before. I was a 15 handicap. That's what made it so fun. Because a 15 handicap will usually be happy if you get under 90. Like an 89 was a great day.
Right. And so what was your score?
I got an 82.
Wow.
My best score in golf ever.
But I mean, at Augusta,
but it was at Augusta.
82 was you shot 82.
I got a 43 on the.
Unbelievable.
I did what Roy did. I hit it in that stinking ditch. Unbelievable.
What ditch? 15. Oh no, on 13, 15, 13 or 15.
He did it on 13.
13.
I did it on 13. Same ditch, and me and Rory, we were just beside ourselves.
That's right. I wonder what Rory McIlroy's doing this weekend. He's not playing golf. I mean, he ought to just be unwinding.
He said he's going to see his mom and dad.
Yes, that's right.
That's
he did
awesome.
say that.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, that was such real emotion that it just captivated. Probably as good of a finish as I've ever seen.
I feel a lot better about hitting that ball in the ditch now.
That's right. You and Rory.
Well, at 359-2255, David said, thank you for sharing the good news.
We did that with
over things.
Monsignor Mark earlier in the, if you want to podcast that, 7:30 to about 7:55, we were talking about Jesus.
You were talking how brilliant it was to go down as a snow bunny to the warmer climates.
Yep.
And Susan said, missing out on the great grandkids, nieces, nephews, too many things missed out. She doesn't want to do the Florida thing.
I can get it, but if I'm not with the family, it's kind of not where I want to be. It's just like when we were just starting our family, I'd see 9,400 vans around soccer fields at Dodds Park near Parkland.
Yes.
And I'd say, ugh. But when it was our time, it's the only place I wanted to be. Was one of the 9,400 vans at Dodds playing soccer, and I coached soccer and knowing nothing about soccer except that we were a Division I snacks team.
Yes.
I brought the expensive stuff.
Good deal.
Juicy bottles, the whole deal. Anyway, so you don't want to be away from any of that, and no, I get it. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. I like the idea of waking up, going outside, and having coffee and warm. So whatever that means, maybe you have a sunroom. maybe you just have a sunroom.
It just hit me that 20 years ago this Easter weekend, the Fighting Illini down 15 with 4 minutes to go, beat Arizona and went to the Final Four. That was tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Although Easter was probably a different day.
Yeah. All right, Johnny, thank you. Happy Easter.
All
Thanks
right,
for being in.
Happy Easter,
guys. God bless you. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy your weekend.
And thank you for both of you today, and thank you for always. And thank you, my friends. We'll meet on Monday, God willing. Thanks for listening. I'm Stevie J. Have a blessed Easter, and talk to you Monday.
Racing. Farmer City Raceway is your local award-winning dirt track with exciting Friday night lights illuminating the late models and modifieds going for the checkered flag for the win. Make arrangements to get in on the camping with great price points for pit passes and young fans, as well as veterans. Friday nights, the hot laps start at 6:30, then qualifying and racing action. Don't miss out on the fun at Farmer City Raceway. For details, visit farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Next week on an all-new Law and Order. Order! We convene here for case 217, Spring Green versus Weeds. Spring Green, the floor is yours. The weeds are infectious. The weeds steal the beauty from your lawn. We offer personalized lawn care, a mid-season checkup, and a simple and transparent process. Just click on to spring-green.com for a quote. Okay, Spring Green wins. Weeds, you're out. That's spring-green.com.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground Solutions. Are you tired of dealing with leaky faucets, basement flooding, bursting or leaking pipes? From plumbing maintenance and repairs to installing new water heaters and sump pumps, our goal is to get you up and running as soon as possible. At Lands Plumbing, we have 24/7 emergency service and a team of highly skilled professionals that will work with you to get the job done right the first time. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
The University of Illinois Police Training Institute has been training police and correctional officers from across Illinois since 1955. 2025 marks the 70th year anniversary, making PTI one of the longest-running academies in the country. On June 28th at Willow Pond Golf Course in Rantoul, become a sponsor or register for the golf outing, with proceeds raised funding the first phase of the relocation plan. Learn more about the Willow Pond Golf Outing June 28th as you visit pti.illinois.edu.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Sarah Champagne's been Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheese, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstott, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328